87.3 Apple FM.
And sat next to me this morning is Deb Criddle. Good morning to you, Deb.
Good morning.
And a belated happy birthday. I believe it was your birthday yesterday, the 10th of May.
How did you find that out?
Oh, I have ways. I have power.
Very good.
All right. Right, so you're our special guest this morning, and you're going to press the magic button at 10 o'clock.
I am indeed.
To actually launch
Quite exciting.
FM, are you? And you've got your gold medals with you, I believe, in your bag.
I have brought them along.
And you've got a gold post box in Troll.
Yes.
I've been out and seen it outside the post box. Do you want to tell the listeners what that little girl said the other day about your house?
Yeah, it's a resident of Trull. She had her grandchildren to visit, and they were walking the footpaths which actually go right past my front door. And I have a post box out on the gate, and the children were a little bit upset that my post box is green. My house box is green and not gold, so maybe I need to go out with a paintbrush.
You should. I don't think the post office would mind, do you? And you must be pleased because you got an MBE in the 2013 New Year's Honours.
Yeah, that was a tremendous honour after.
I bet it was. And I got here that it was for services to equestrianism. Is that the right word?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, I got it right then. I was worried I was going to get it wrong.
Apple FM.
So, Deb, it was 1985 when you had that fateful accident, you were telling me?
It was indeed, yes. It was actually the night of Live Aid, so I was a little bit disappointed to miss the whole sort of show, really.
Did you see any of it?
I didn't, only on recordings later on. So.
What about the Cars? You remember that? The one they played when Bob Geldof swore and everybody started ringing in? I think everybody remembers that one. But that didn't sort of hold you back. You were in hospital for a long time?
I was, I was in ITU for 3 weeks, and then moved down to East Street.
Oh, yeah, the old East Street Hospital, yes.
The orthopaedic department there. And spent, about 6 months, maybe there, in total, a full year in a leg plaster cast, and then sort of rehabilitation again afterwards.
Yeah. And then later on you decided to, yes?
Yeah, well, I'd always been a keen horse rider before, but never competitive.
Right.
And I think, having lost the use of my arm and reduced mobility, it was a huge change to my life. And I just needed to find a connection with the person I had been. It was very much sort of finding myself. And for me, the horses were the key, and just got involved with the RDA and a local riding school, and it just grew from there.
No looking back then.
It hasn't been.
And I got a list of some of your achievements here. Your medal record for para dressage, is that right? And summer Paralympics.
Yeah.
Gold in 2004 in Athens in the team championship.
Yeah.
Gold 2004 Athens championship test grade 3. Yeah, I'm doing well, aren't I? Gold 2004 Athens freestyle test grade 3. And then gold 2012 London Team Championship, silver 2012 London Championship Test Grade 3, and silver 2012 London Freestyle Test Grade 3. Now I'm going to ask you a question, put you on the spot.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. I suppose the London ones mean the most, do they?
Well, do you know, you would think so in a sense. I mean, yes, London, for the atmosphere, the whole way the games were produced, it was absolutely incredible, and to be part of it was truly something very, very special. But for me, the Athens, the medals in Athens, my whole backup team, those have the most poignant memories for me.
Right, yeah.
Because it was a very, very special time. It was the culmination of 3 years' work with a particular horse, my trainer's horse, Figaro. She lives in London. I'm going mad here.
The horse or the trainer?
No, the trainer and the horse live in Taunton. They're Taunton people. Nina Venables and her horse Figaro. And yes, it was just everything came together on that moment, and it's the best test I've ever performed. So I'm still trying to recreate that feeling.
Recreate the feeling you got in Athens.
Absolutely.
Apple FM.
So Debbie, you were telling me about your horse, Achilles.
Yes,
was one.
LJT Achilles. Very special horse.
I was talking to somebody in the week and I mentioned your name and she said, oh, she had a horse. I know her horse, Achilles and Figaro.
Figaro, yes. Figaro went to Athens with me.
That's it, because this lady is very keen on the horses. Their parents got a farm over at Creech,
Yes.
and she keeps her horses there, and she's always sort of out and about on her horses.
Right.
So do you ride through the week? I mean, I know it's a silly question because you got a bit, I mean, you go somewhere and practice?
Well, I'm very lucky. I have very good sort of facilities at home, so
Yeah.
I only need to travel out if my trainer can't sort of come to
Oh,
me.
I see.
And yeah, we'll be out there 5-6 days a week because the horse is really an equine gymnast. If you know,
Yeah.
you wouldn't sort of see a gymnast sort of stopping work for
No.
a week or something. They're out sort of every day doing things. So it's very important that he sort of stretches his muscle,
yeah.
builds up the strength, keeps you know supple. So yes, and it's actually quite nice. I have a lot of footpath walkers sort of around me, and they'll often stop and watch while I'm training, and it's actually quite nice. You
Yeah,
know?
but it is. And do they come over and sort of say hello? Or
Yeah, no, they all stop. You know,
Oh,
stop, say
great
hello.
stuff.
Some will watch for a little bit, and
Yeah.
on
And I
they go
assume
again.
it's that sort of casual sort of attire when you go out like that. You don't go out with all your sort of hard, you know, your black and everything.
No, it's
No.
it's much as you say, much more casual.
Oh, right.
Apple FM.
Now, with me in the studio this morning is Gold Paralympian Deb Criddle, who hails from these parts. And Deb, thank you very much for joining us this morning for our official launch of the brand new community radio station.
You're welcome. It was a real honour to press the button.
Oh, thank you so much for just being here. But what is we talked with Rod about the past and the Olympics and the things that you've done and achieved. What's next for you?
Well, really, it's just an ongoing process of training, competition, and the fact that I've done well at sort of London doesn't actually mean anything. You really do start from the beginning of the new year, and I've already been out sort of competing. I've managed to qualify for our British National Championships,
Wow.
which take place in June in Hickstead, and so yeah, I hope to gain a qualifying place from that through to the Europeans this summer.
How's it been since you've come back to Taunton with the gold post box and everything? How are you finding all of that?
It's been absolutely manic, and you know what's quite incredible is the fact that after I did sort of very well in Athens, I think by Christmas things had quietened down, but the roller coaster still keeps going. You know, there are so many requests to go out sort of with the medals and talk about London. Yeah, people are still on a real high from the whole experience.
So you're in training now. What's the next major event you're training for?
Really, it would be, I say, the British National Championships, and then our final selection trial through to the Europeans.
So the future looks quite good for you then.
It does, and I'm so lucky. I've got a horse owned by the Lady Joseph Trust who was set up to buy sort of top horses for top power riders, and without them, you know, I'd actually have no chance. I'd have had to retire sort of several years ago.
Okay.
It's quite a tough sort of competition world out there. You know, you've got to have the horsepower, and unfortunately, like most things in this world, they cost a lot of money.
Yeah, it certainly does. Having put together this radio station over the last 2 years, anything you want to do costs money. So I know we'll be keeping a very close eye on your successes in the future. Thank you very much for being our special guest today.
Thank you.
For the caring community of Taunton, 97